Hi everyone, my name is Victoria Fernandez and welcome to my channel, I Live to Inspire Mental Health. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe to my channel where I talk about my experience with bipolar disorder and overall mental health. So with that, this week's video is about the truth behind taking medications. So before I begin, I do want to say that I am not romanticizing medications, nor antagonizing them. I believe that if you need them, or if you're bad, like you're not feeling well, you feel like you need to take medications, or somebody else feels like you need to go to a doctor, it is important for you to go to a psychiatrist who is the best person who can recommend you and actually prescribe to you medications. Medications are not for everybody. So that is just what I have to say. I take them because I believe that they help me function better, and they've made my life easier. So with that, there are things that are negative about medications. I'm not gonna be here lying to you saying that they're perfect, that they're the best thing in the world, because oftentimes what you don't see is taking that medication every single day, not being able to, for example, come home and like you're really tired and you just want to fall asleep, or you fall asleep for some reason at 7 p.m. but guess what? You can't wake up the next morning because you have to take your medications. I think that one of the really kind of like sucky things about it is every single night having to swallow each one. Sometimes I have trouble eating, so it's like in an empty stomach, just the taste, the smell, just having to, take each one. It sucks, but it's a trade-off, and I know that this might seem something small, but it is something that's like, it really affects like life. It's like every single night. But anyways, so that's one of the small things that people really don't see, how hard it can be to not just, the side effects that it gives you after you take them, but just the feeling of actually taking a pill or several pills. And in my case, I take several every single night. So more than that, when I first started taking my first actual bipolar medications, the side effects weren't good. My throat, I was in high school at this point, felt like it was closing in on me, and I feel like I've said this in other videos, but it was closing in. So being in that state, it's the middle of the night, I just started taking it. I can't fall asleep. I feel like my tongue was getting bigger in a way, or my throat was closing in. So I start crying and I start like not being able to breathe properly. So that was a horrible experience. I go to my parents' room and I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with me. Crying is making it worse because I can't breathe. And then they call the doctor. Thankfully, my psychiatrist is amazing, and he actually, he's the type of person that has a number to call at, any time basically that is needed. At least in my case, I was just starting a new medication, and there's a lot of side effects. When you go on their website and you look at the side effects, or when you actually open up the bottle, it goes like this. Literally, the list is huge of the amount of side effects that you could get. But you can't really get caught up on that, because a lot of those things are, to have precaution. Companies don't want to be liable for a lot of things, so that's another thing to take into consideration. I don't really like to read every single one of them. Of course, I have had the curiosity to read them, but anyways, that happens, and that was pretty terrible. I had to miss school several times, and hiding who I am, I couldn't tell people why I wasn't at class for several days. So anyways, I keep going. My medication gets adjusted. Side effects come and go. With that medication I took it for around 3 years, I think. And it wasn't pretty having to not being able to sleep or not being able to wake up, because it was supposed to help sleep, but honestly, I couldn't sleep at night, but it was just really hard for me to wake up in the morning. And I realized that once I switched medications. So, moving forward from that one, there was one that I switched last summer. And this is supposed to be one of the best ones for bipolar disorder. And you know, it was a summer. I took a time where I wasn't going to be stressed with school. And then my doctor and I, you know, you have to start taking it slowly, like taking it back slowly. You can't just automatically like go off one medication. I made sort of that mistake later on. So I started taking this new medication along with the ones that I'm taking already. And I'm just feeling tired. I felt like I could not get up out of bed. I felt I was in vacation. I had no energy. But not only that, the worst part was the vomiting. So we're on vacation and I literally vomited all over my boyfriend's shoes. I just couldn't control it. It was so terrible. I was feeling so bad, and I knew that I had to keep taking, like, it was for my own, like, you know, mental health, and there are sacrifices that you have to make sometimes for your overall well-being. So I go to my doctor once we get back from the trip and I tell him this, so he switches me to something else a lot better. He switched me to the one that's generic, so it's, you know, it's a little different than the original one, and I'm a lot better. So he's like, okay, we're gonna like slowly lower the other one so you can be fully on this one. So we start doing that, you know, a few months go in. I'm feeling a lot better, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm ready to fully, you know, stop taking the other one. So this is one of the worst days ever. I stopped taking it. 24 hours go by and I start vomiting like I had never vomited in my entire life. It was this thing where I just couldn't stop, and it would just keep going and keep going. I couldn't eat anything. Anything that I smelled was disgusting. I literally could not eat any food. I could not do anything. I had to miss class so many times because all I could do was vomit. And it wasn't like a regular thing where you do it and like you feel fine. It was, I spent months like just laying in bed taking one medication at a time at night. So if I was 10 p.m. I would eat something little. I would take one of the pills. I would fall asleep for 30 minutes. I would wake up again, take another pill. Again and again and again. Ends up, you know, going to sleep at 1 in the morning when I have class the next day. Because I couldn't just take them because I would vomit them. And that wouldn't be good because if they're coming out of my body, I had to take another one. My body's just not taking it. So that happens, right? And I was just like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm feeling terrible. So I contact my doctor. I started reading about it, and I understood that it was because, you know, when you stop taking a medication like that, your body doesn't know how to react. I mean, I was taking this pill for 3 years, right? My body was used to it. So that happens. And I actually just remember that one of the other side effects that is very common, I've heard it before, is that whenever you start taking medications, you stop feeling. And you just feel like you are, how do I explain this? You have no happiness, no sadness. You're basically like not even here. So with that, I'm actually going to make a second video about this. So that's it for this video. And the other week, I'll make the second part of what it's truly like to take medications. So if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And please share it with somebody who you believe should watch this video. Also, always remember that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and a bad day does not mean a bad life.